All right, welcome to our AI family series designed specifically for caregivers and families of our Stratford Public School students. I'm Dr. Michelle Eckler, Director of Instructional Technology, and this series will be exploring the ins and outs of artificial intelligence, helping you understand its basics and its growing role in our daily lives and your children's education. Our goal is to provide clear, practical information about AI. For additional resources and further details on everything we discussed today, please visit www.stratfordk12.org. Today's topic is talking to your child about AI with confidence. I'm joined today by Dr. Diana DiIorio, one of our assistant superintendents. Thank you so much for joining me today, Dr. DiIorio.
Oh, thank you for having me, Dr. Eckler.
So I'm going to start with our first question. What kinds of questions are kids asking about AI, and how can parents respond in ways that spark thoughtful communications and conversations?
Great question. I think that children are naturally curious about the world around them, and AI is no exception. Many kids wonder things like, how do my favorite apps know what I like? Or will robots take over people's jobs? Others may ask, can AI make mistakes or be unfair in any way? Or even, what's the coolest thing AI can do? These are thoughtful questions, and parents can use them as opportunities to spark deeper conversations with their children. I think one way to do this is by pointing out everyday examples of AI, whether it's the recommendations that pop up on YouTube or Netflix, whatever it is that they're watching, or the way a smarter speaker answers their questions. So you can experiment together with AI images or music generators, then talk about how what AI creates is different from what people create. I think even something simple like showing your child how their For You or Explore page changes based on what they click on when they're on those apps. I think the key is to really highlight both the exciting and the challenging sides of AI so that kids begin to, see it not as magic, but as a tool that, can shape some of their choices that they make.
You make such a great point about humans versus AI because you really can tell the difference sometimes.
That's right.
Okay. All right. So, how can families create an environment where kids feel safe sharing how they're using AI at school or at home?
I think the best way to build a safe environment for kids to share is to approach conversations about AI with curiosity rather than with fear. When children feel that their parents are interested and open-minded, they are much more likely to talk about their experiences. I think families can model this by trying AI tools together and asking questions like, what do you think about how it came up with that answer, rather than jumping straight to judgment. It's also important to start these conversations early and keep them going so AI isn't treated as a one-time talk, but an ongoing conversation and dialogue. I would encourage your child to come to you whenever something feels confusing or off, and reassuring them that, no question is too small or too silly. Finally, I think families can connect though these discussions to like the bigger picture, such as the fact that schools, including Stratford Public Schools, are actively developing AI policies through, things like an AI task force, and to prioritize student safety, knowing that both parents and schools are engaged in helping the children, feel safe and supported through the process.
Absolutely. We always encourage our students don't put any personal information into anything, even AI.
That's right.
All right. So, what role should parents play in guiding, not controlling, their child's exploration of AI tools?
That's a great question, and that could be hard. That could be tricky for some parents. I think parents play a crucial guiding role in helping children navigate AI without taking away their independence. The goal is not to control, but to keep kids use AI responsibly and thoughtfully. I think a helpful starting point is to frame AI as a tool for learning and creativity, not as a shortcut. We want them to know the difference. I think encouraging children to use it for brainstorming or problem solving, but not make sure that, we want to make sure that they understand that original thinking still matters and is still really important. This also is an opportunity to discuss important topics like plagiarism and ethics when using AI, reminding them that copying directly from AI isn't learning and that their own ideas have value to them. We want exploring AI tools, we want them to do it together and that it can turn into a shared experience where they can both ask questions and figure out answers together using AI tools. I think at the same time, setting digital boundaries, like limiting time on certain apps or using parental controls, can be explained not as a punishment, but as a safeguard, and to help them understand the good habits versus not so good habits. I think striking that balance, parents can position themselves as partners in their child's AI journey.
Absolutely. And parental controls are wonderful tools and never should be viewed as punishment. You're right. They are just a way to kind of provide those barriers to make sure our children are doing the right things on the internet.
That's right.
All right. So, how can parents talk about the risks and limitations of AI without making it feel scary or off limits to their children?
Hmm. I think talking about risks works best when it's grounded in reassurance and age appropriate explanations. Parents can start by reminding children that not everything they see online is real and that AI generated content often looks convincing even when it isn't accurate. At times, this can lead into conversations about misinformation, bias, and how AI can sometimes be manipulative or manipulating. I think that at the same time, it's important to empower kids with strategies. So teaching them to ask questions like, who made this? Where does this information come from? Is it true? Those are all questions that parents can ask. I think privacy is another area to discuss in practical terms, such as explaining how apps collect data and showing them small steps that, cleaning browser, browsing histories is important. I think it's also important to highlight the difference between people and machines. AI can mimic conversations, but it doesn't care or understand in the way that humans do. And I think that's important for children to understand. I think above all, parents should reassure children that, they see something online that worries them, they can always come to a trusted adult to ask the question, whether that's someone at school or someone in their family. I think by combining honesty with encouragement, families can help keep kids seeing AI clearly for what it is, neither as something to fear, but also not anything as something to worry about it as well.
Those are all such great points. Seriously, like just the advice you've given our parents today, I think is incredibly valuable. And I really hope that they appreciate what we can provide to them and know that they can always reach out to us too if there's
Absolutely.
any questions they have. Yeah. Well, I really want to thank you so much for spending some time with me today to talk about another part of AI. I really appreciate your time, Dr. DiIorio. And families, we're here to support you in any way that we can. So, to support your family's ongoing journey into artificial intelligence, you can visit our dedicated section on the Stratford Public Schools website. Go to www.stratfordk12.org, and you can click on the technology department under departments, and you can find our family resources there. You're going to find a growing library of resources, including our wonderful Family AI Challenge. We challenge you to go ahead and take a look at AI together and provide us with some feedback. And you never know, you might win a prize. So thank you so much again, and see you next time.